Climate change remains among mankind's most pressing issues. To meet the challenge, information about its impact on ecological systems is vital. Among persistent problems, however, has been how to rapidly gather data from large, often inaccessible regions such as the Amazon basin. The Carnegie Airborne Observatory, or CAO, is a revolutionary advancement in remote sensing and 3D analysis of ecosystem composition, chemistry, and physiology. It was conceived by Carnegie Department of Global Ecology scientist Greg Asner, who is its principal investigator. The CAO consists of a sensor suite mounted in a Dornier 228 aircraft, which puts all tropical regions of the world within its range. The system enables mapping of very large areas, as much as 49,000 hectares or 120,000 acres per day. The latest incarnation of the CAO incorporates a sensor suite called AToMS, which stands for Airborne Taxonomic Mapping System. AToMS is able to remotely measure ecosystem chemistry, structure, biomass, and biodiversity by integrating data from 3 instruments, a light-ranging system called LiDAR, and 2 imaging spectrometers. LiDAR, which stands for Light Detection and Ranging, uses a sweeping, rapidly pulsed laser to construct a 3D model of an ecosystem by measuring how long it takes a pulse of light to reflect from a surface and return to the aircraft. The Keystone Visible Shortwave Imaging Spectrometer, which was built at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and the Visible to Near-Infrared Imaging Spectrometer sense light in the visible and infrared range, detect dozens of signals, and build distinct signatures of plant species and other forest conditions. AToMS can distinguish over 200 species of trees. The data are used to generate a 3D map of an ecosystem, as seen in this flyover using real data from AToMS. Asner assessed the impact on the forest structure caused by the 2010 megadrought in the Amazon. This video, generated by AToMS, shows underlying terrain on the left and the effects of the drought on the canopy on the right. The purple areas are dead canopy. Understanding how this drought changed the forest is critical because there is a possibility that droughts will become more frequent. Asner mapped about 500,000 hectares of the Peruvian Amazon, recording changes between 2009 and 2011. The greatest changes were observed in areas under heavy use for logging. Mark Higgins, another member of the Carnegie team, used AToMS to study how canopy structure in Panamanian forest is affected by geological formations' interactions with the surrounding soil. He studied canopy, chemistry, canopy structure, and geological characteristics. This showed that geological formations regulated forest structure and chemistry through changes in both soil and the composition of plant species. Asner and co-author Carnegie's Dana Chadwick used AToMS to examine the floodplains in the humid tropics of the Peruvian Amazon, an area of study that is difficult because of the challenges of collecting data. AToMS enabled them to quantify the relationships between wetlands and forest, including ways that the wetland's geological characteristics influence the surrounding vegetation, such as pigment and nutrient concentrations, height, understory cover, and biomass. These data reveal patterns never previously reported in the western Amazon basin. Carnegie Jean-Baptiste Ferret and Asner worked on mapping biodiversity based on the AToMS spectroscopic imagery. This figure shows variation in biological diversity after processing data acquired in the western Amazonian basin. In addition to the groundbreaking work being done with AToMS, other Carnegie Global Ecology scientists are sharing results at AGU using other functions of the Carnegie Airborne Observatory. A team led by Kyla Dallin is using one of the spectrometers to study how environmental factors control plant chemistry in the Mediterranean-type climate of a Stanford biological preserve. Another team, led by Claire Baldick, uses the LiDAR system to identify tree species across portions of the African savanna that can't be mapped from the ground. The Carnegie Airborne Observatory is a revolutionary sensor platform that gathers data with unprecedented speed and detail. The dramatic increase in measurement capability of AToMS provides a major advancement for research in support of Earth science and exploration, biological conservation, and resource policy development. As mankind seeks to deal with global warming and other ecological concerns, the kind of information provided by the CAO will prove increasingly important.